The 23rd anniversary of my first Karen. I originally posted this 3 years ago, on the 20th anniversary of my first Karen. But now my first Karen is old enough to drink, and I always love sharing this story. I hope you enjoy reading it. Today is the 23rd anniversary of my first encounter with and victory against a Karen. Today, July 4th, 2024, marks 248 years of independence for the United States. However, I remember it almost as much as the 23rd anniversary of my first encounter with and victory against a Karen in the workplace. Now, because it has been 20 years, some details will be spotty. My memory is quite good, but 2 decades is bound to make certain things fade. Picture it, the movie theater. July 4th, 2001. Only 2 months before the world changed forever. I, 17M at the time of this event, now 40M, have always been a major film buff, so to work in the middle of it was just the best scenario ever. Sure, sweeping popcorn and smuggled Taco Bell wrappers wasn't exactly heaven, but, they wouldn't pay you if it was 100% lollipops and rainbows. It was the busiest day I've had since I started working for the theater. Everything popular was playing. At 1.9 of the 18 auditoriums were completely sold out. I am already well known for my pleasant customer service demeanor, so I am enjoying the cushy assignment of tearing tickets at the podium and directing people to the right screen. Repetitive gig, but it kept me from endless runs up and down stadium stairs all night. Just smile, tear the ticket, and a chipper. This will be the first/second theater to the left. Enjoy the show. One of the duties across all positions in the theater was to be vigilant about keeping kids from getting into R-rated movies. Quite often, kids would try to pull one over on us. The most common would be to buy tickets to another movie and then sneaking into the R-rated movie when nobody is looking. Whenever an especially popular R-rated movie was playing, we didn't play around. ID checks at the box office and the podium, along with an usher at the auditorium entrance to make sure the ticket matched the film. July 4th happened to be the opening day of one highly anticipated R-rated movie. It was a sequel to a comedy with a reputation of being quite risque throughout, let's call it, terrifying film part 2. We had been pretty secure against young un sneak attacks before, but today we had to be Fort Knox. Enter 2 boys, no older than 12. I almost wanted to confiscate the sodas to keep from stunting their growth. Both hand me tickets to, wait for it, terrifying film part 2. I'm quite bold. I admire this approach. I asked the kids for ID. Of course, they don't have one. Sorry. No ID, no parent, no dice. They walk away and I think nothing of it. 10 minutes later, I hear the screech of what I would later know is the mating call of the Karen. Demand us, accommodate us. Known for their distinctive haircut, dilated pupils, and lack of reasoning. Karen. My kids are going into this movie. Me. Ma'am. Because this film is rated R, anyone under 17 have to have? K. I'm watching another movie, and then when that's over I'm gonna sit with them. I'm just dumbfounded. That's not how this works. The parent has to accompany the kid through the whole film. Even though this was indeed my first rodeo, I knew pointing that out would be as productive as baptizing a feral cat. So I take a different approach. Me. If you can show me your ticket as well, I'll let you all sit together. And here we go. You know how they say you always remember your first? Yep. Now this part 1 remember like it was 5 minutes ago. K. Get. Me. Your. Manager. I could feel the white-hot fury of 1,000 suns shooting from her eyes. I'm surprised the papers on my clipboard haven't burst into flames. I'm at the podium. I can't walk away. Usually the podium has a radio to page management in situations like this, but of course when I needed it the most, it had vanished. I'm unable to leave the podium, but I can't grab a manager either. I'm stuck. I try to explain, but this just makes her turn an even darker shade of crimson. K. This is freaking ridiculous. Karen stomps away. Well, as much as one can stomp in sandals. Quick breath of relief. Apologies to a couple of lovely, elderly ladies for having to witness that outburst, and then Karen returns with manager. Manager tells me to let the kids through. Did Karen magically produce another ticket for terrifying film part do to corroborate her story? Did he ask for my side of the story? Did he remember policy? Take a wild hypothesis. Hell no. That was the day I learned surgical spine removal is a prerequisite for customer service management. Karen gives me that "I got my way, you little peon" look. Now, I don't like being overridden on policy. I hate when management knowingly bends the rules and making me look like an idiot in the process. But of course, I don't necessarily want to shout WDF to my manager at the same time. After all, he holds my newfound employment in his hands. This is where I know I was in the wrong. I knew it when I did it. I knew two wrongs don't make a right, but gosh darn it, I was not going to let her win. I lied. I tell the manager that she called me a f***ing IDOT. Hey, it sounded close enough to her freaking ridiculous remark that if there were still any witnesses nearby, it can seem like that is indeed what she said. Manager's eyes light up. Maybe they accidentally left a piece of spine during that surgery. Manager pulls Karen and the kids back. Asks Karen if she cussed at me. I thought I'd seen Karen at full meltdown mode before. Nope, not even DEFCON 3. Karen goes off, alternating between incomprehensible sobs and hateful screams from the seventh circle of hell. That's the worst one, right? Kay, how dare you? How dare you, you little liar? He's lying. He was cussing at me. Me, ma'am, I don't talk like that to customers. Manager shuts me up. I admit, I should have kept my mouth shut and not fuel to the fire. However, I was hoping I could induce some sort of short circuit in Karen's head. I was so focused on checking Karen's hair for smoke that I did not notice her husband, in his dirty wife-beater, until he jumped into the conversation. He claimed to be a big shot at a restaurant chain, big eater, maybe, and that he had the power to get me fired? Get everyone fired? Make sure my appetizers are served lukewarm at his company for the rest of eternity? Whatever. Husband is laying into me. I'm defending myself. Karen is about to burst some blood vessels, hers or the manager's unknown. The lobby is being treated to some live theater while waiting for their concessions. Manager finally sends me to the break room because I'm not staying quiet and husband is about to punch my face in. As I make my way to safety, I see Karen speed walk back to the box office, crying, accompanied by the manager. Karen and her brood get full refunds. I did get reprimanded for talking back to the customers, but I still declare my first encounter with a Karen to be a rare victory. Oh, and the kicker? Karen and husband had tickets to another movie, a PG-13 film that started at the same time as Terrifying Film Part 2, but ended a full hour after it. She wasn't going to sit with them during that movie at any point. And that was the time I lost my Karen-ginity and started a lifetime of dodging entitlement. In the 2 decades since, I've accumulated enough wild Karen stories to fill a series of books. If you like this story, I can gladly regale you with more. Thank you.